everyone, welcome to my channel. This is CVS part 2 in physiology. So in this video we are going to see conducting system of heart. Now heart is actually made up of two types of cells, contractile cells and conducting cells. Conducting cells are nothing but modified contractile cells. Let's see these conducting cells. What are the different type of conducting cells found in our heart? First is the SA node. Then we have AV node. Then there are internodal tracts present between the SA node and AV node. Then there is bundle of His, bundle branches. There are left bundle branches and right bundle branches. And we have the Purkinje fibers. Let's see some properties of these cells. SA node is known as the pacemaker of the cell because it has the highest rate of discharge of impulses. Then we have AV node. AV node is known as the pace setter of the heart because of the AV nodal delay. Then we have these internodal tracts. These internodal tracts are nothing but the tracts connecting SA node to AV node. There are anterior, middle and posterior tracts. Then the Purkinje fibers. These Purkinje fibers have fastest conducting, whereas these AV node are the slowest conducting considering the AV nodal delay. Let's say this AV nodal delay. This delays for about 92 milliseconds. And what is the reason? The reason is small diameter and there is very less or no gap junctions present. And what is this advantage of the delay? The atria contract ahead of the ventricles. So there is complete ventricular filling before the ventricles pump the blood out. Moving on to potentials. There are two types of potential in heart, plateau potential and the pacemaker potential. Pacemaker potential occurs only in SA node and AV node, whereas the plateau potential occurs in rest all conducting cells and contractile cells. So let's see the the plateau potential first. So here comes the plateau potential. The RMP of the normal contractile cells or the cardiac muscle cells and the rest of the conducting cells is minus 90. So here is our RMP. Then we have this depolarization, early repolarization, plateau phase, late repolarization and the hyperpolarization phase. So we are having this graph, this curve. We'll mark the phases by numbers. First, this is the firing level as minus 75 millivolts. Then we have phase 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Phase 0 is your depolarization phase. Phase 1 is early repolarization phase. Phase 2 is plateau phase. Phase 3 is late repolarization phase. And phase 4 is hyperpolarization. The reasons behind the phases: depolarization is caused by sodium influx. Early repolarization is caused by decreased sodium influx and increased potassium efflux. Plateau phase is caused by potassium efflux but calcium influx. Late repolarization is by potassium efflux and hyperpolarization is by slow closure of these potassium channels. And here at the end of the second phase there is closure of the calcium channels. So if you see from the firing level till the end of the second phase, this is your absolute RP or absolute refractory period, and this is prolonged. Now here first we will see the calcium influx occurring in the plateau phase. This calcium influx is occurring through the slow calcium channels or the sodium calcium channels. Then we have these prolonged absolute RP. The advantage is that there will be no tetanus of the heart. So this is plateau potential. Let's move on to the pacemaker potential, which is seen in SA node and AV node. In SA node and AV node, the RMP is minus 50 to minus 60 millivolts, unlike the plateau potential one, which is minus 90. And so here is this graph. Again, here are the phases 0, 3 and 4 corresponding to the phases of the plateau potential. Like the phase 0 is depolarization phase, phase 3 is repolarization phase, and phase 4 is not hyperpolarization but a prepotential phase. Now, reasons is for depolarization in pacemaker cells is calcium influx, repolarization due to potassium efflux, and this firing level here is minus 45 millivolts. Now, the calcium influx resulting in depolarization is by calcium L channels. Then you see here the phase 4, that is prepotential phase. What is this prepotential phase? Prepotential phase is slow and spontaneous depolarization till the firing level. Now there are reasons for this prepotential phase. So we are seeing the 3 reasons of prepotential phase. There is decreased potassium efflux at the end of the repolarization phase, and hence the prepotential phase starts. Then there is opening of the funny channels. What does happen from this? These funny channels permit movement of both sodium and potassium ions, but the sodium movement is predominated. And the last reason is the calcium influx by calcium T channels. Now if you see, this calcium influx in depolarization is by calcium L channels, but in this prepotential phase it is by calcium T channels, and that is the main reason for this prepotential phase. Then we will see the effect of sympathetic and parasympathetic on the pacemaker cells only. So here is sympathetic and parasympathetic. Increase in sympathetic discharge will lead to increase in cyclic AMP, and it acts on the beta receptors. This will lead to the opening of the additional calcium channels. Due to this, there is decrease in the depolarization time. This decrease in depolarization time results in increase of the heart rate. Seeing the parasympathetic, increase in parasympathetic discharge decreases cyclic AMP, and it also leads to opening of the ACH or acetylcholine gated potassium channels in prepotential phase or phase 4. Adenosine also stimulates this opening of potassium channels. Decreased cyclic AMP leads to increase in depolarization time and ultimately decrease in heart rate, whereas opening of potassium channels leads to decrease in slope of phase 4 or prepotential phase, resulting in decrease of heart rate. So sympathetic results in increase of heart rate and parasympathetic results in decrease of heart rate. Now the intrinsic rate of discharge of SA node is 100 per minute. But there is a resting vagal tone, or you can say a parasympathetic discharge, leading to the decrease of the resting heart rate to 70 to 80 per minute. So if you apply this, the heart rate of transplanted heart will be 100 per minute because there won't be a vagal tone on it. Then we have athletes. Athletes have high resting vagal tone. This results in bradycardia at rest. And this gives rise to increase of the cardiac reserve. What is this cardiac reserve? Cardiac reserve is nothing but maximum cardiac output minus the basal cardiac output. Normally, in normal persons, it is 4 to 5 times basal cardiac output, but in athletes, it is 6 to 7 times basal cardiac output. Moving on, we have this sympathetic and parasympathetic effect on the heart. Overall heart, that is the muscle plus the heart rate, or you can say the conducting cells. So sympathetic discharge, we will see here heart rate and force of contraction, and the parasympathetic here. Heart rate, as we have seen, increases in sympathetic and decreases in parasympathetic. Force of contraction increase in sympathetic, but there is no effect of parasympathetic on that because there is no vagal supply to the ventricles. Then we will see ventricular depolarization and repolarization. Let's see the difference here. So you can see here, this is the, here I am going to draw a ventricle now. Yes. So the first part to depolarize is the left upper part of the interventricular septum. So here this part gets depolarized first, then it moves from left to right in septum, then endo to epicardium, and then to the base. So we can write it as in septal region, the depolarization is from left to right and from endocardium to epicardium. And the last part to depolarize is the base and the epicardium of the base. Repolarization is exact opposite. It is epicardium to endocardium. The first part will be the apex epicardium, whereas the last part to repolarize will be the base endocardium. So I am drawing here again a ventricle. So this apex, from here this repolarization starts. It's from epicardium to endocardium and goes towards the base. So we have seen in this video the contractile cells, conducting cells in detail, the potentials, plateau potential, pacemaker potential, effect of sympathetic and parasympathetic on pacemaker cells, then the ventricular depolarization, repolarization. So this is all. Thank you and subscribe my